So start with the intro riff here. We're going to hit this E bass note, and then you're going to want to kind of pick with your fingers here. So just kind of like that, and we're going to slide up to 4G, 3B, hit that 3 times, and then just kind of mix in some of the bass notes in there. Okay. So slide up to that 4 times. Okay, do that twice. And then we slide 4 to 2, G to open. And then we do hammer on, open D to 2. Okay, hit the 2D, open to 2, hammer on the A. Back to open D. A quick 3E to 2D. Right, and then you would do that little bit twice. Okay, so let's try it all slowly here. We get to the verse here. There's an acoustic guitar that's bouncing around in the background. It's just kind of jamming around with the E chord and just lifting off of it to get this E minor 7 basically. And it's just shuffling along kind of arbitrarily, just bouncing along with, you know, E minor 7 just opens to the E chord. So it'd be like, it's almost like it's hammering onto the E chord. Okay, so just kind of an arbitrary loose shuffle between the E and the E minor 7 in the background there. First verse. First measure is just tacit, nothing going on there. But then we get to mix in these little riffs. We'll start with a really quick trill, I guess, where you go open to 2 on the D, back and forth, hammer on, pull off. It just happens for a moment. Alright, then it stops, and then we do a 2 band on the G, hit the open high E. Alright, and then we kind of do our little intro thing with the slide up to 4, G, 3B. Do that twice. Okay, and then just hit the 2 open G. Alright, and we would repeat those first 4 measures twice. Okay, the rest measure, the little hammer on pull off with the bend, slide ups twice. So go through that a couple times. And then we just get into some measures of chords here. Initially, you'll just go to an E for a couple measures, and you can pick through this, you know, arbitrarily, no big deal. If you just want to strum it once, that's cool. But if you want to kind of, you know, just be loose with it. So a couple measures of E, then we go to a couple measures of C, same type of deal. Okay, to an A. And the second measure of this A, we get a little pickup notes in here. We do a couple of A opens to 1 to 2 on the A. Right, and then we would get into an E shape here. So just hit the E bass note, and then we hit what's kind of like the bottom of a E7. So do a 1 G, 3 on the B. It almost has the same feel of that intro riff, but a different spot. Hit it again, and then just come off to open B and E. Second verse, everything pretty much stays the same. There's just a subtle difference in that initial 4 measures, and it's really like that 4th measure. So everything stays the same. Rest a measure. We do our hammer-on pull-off, bend at the G with the open E, slide ups to 4 and 3, and the second time, instead of sliding up to 4 and 3 again, we just slide up to the 4 and 3 once, hit it right there again, come off to 2s on the B and G, do a hammer-on open to 1 on the G, then hit open B and E. And that's the only real difference, is everything else stays the same. It's just that one little measure there. When we go through that twice, you want to do that. Solo gets going. There's kind of 3 guitars overlaying each other, doing different stuff. The first guitar is kind of the busiest, so we'll start with that. All right, and it does this cool descending scale. So we get the hammer on 3 to 5 on the B, give it some vibrato. Kind of follows that wail vocal. Then we do that descending scale, the 5 to 3 on the B, 4 to 2 G, bend the 5 D, come off to 2. Alright, and we get into some bending here. We go a 2 G, bend it, hit it at the top of the bend, release, come off to open. Okay, to 2 D, 2 A, open D, 2 D, hammer on. Okay, let's go through that once, and that section will repeat again here in a moment. Following that section, we get just kind of a variation of it where we hit the low E, and then we do some kind of bends at the G here with the 2, but at the top of the bends, you just release it, hit it again, release it, hit it again. And then hit it, release it off to open. Hit the 2A, open to 2D. All right, and then we repeat that initial bending section. Continuing with the solo, it just kind of shifts to like picking through some chords. We'll get our C, and with this you just hit the 3 bass note on the A, hammer the open to 2 on the D, hit the open G, open to 2, hammer on again on the D, and then come to 3 on the G, hammer on open to 2D, open G, back to 2D. Okay, move over to the A now. We do an open A, 2, D, open, 2, 2 G, open, bend 2s on the G and B, release it off to opens. As far as what the other guitars are doing during the solo, the second guitar is just kind of doing this repeated hammer-on pull-off on the open 2 on the D here, and just kind of mixing in some like low E bass notes in there. And it's real kind of arbitrary, random, so just kind of the feel of it. Okay, so just that chilling in the background. The third guitar does these bends, and the first 2 are the same, where we bend the 15 on the B and then hit the 12 E and give it a little vibrato. Okay, you just do that a couple times. The third time, you just kind of make that bend on the 15 a little more extended, just kind of slowly bend it and then hit the 12 E. In the third verse, we get a few alterations that happen. We still rest that first measure, but then we do this towards the end of the second measure. We'll hit that bottom of the E7 there with the 1G, 3B, and then hit a open E. All right. Come all the way up here now. Add some new thing. We're going to go 8 on the B with the 7E. Strum it kind of like the intro riff 4 times there. Come off to opens on the B and E. One more time. Now we go 2G, do an open to 1 hammer on G, and then open B and E. Guitar outro solo starts the same as the first with the 3-5 B, then the descending scale. Okay, but at this point we come up high with it. We do our bend at 15 B, hit the 12 E, and now we do that descending scale just up high. Now we go 12 E, 15 12 B, 14 12 G. Give it a little bend on that 12G, and then go 14D. All right, and repeat that twice with the bending to the scale. All right, and then just finish it with a big bend at 15B and the 12E again. Okay, continuing with that outro solo, pretty much ending the song. It's going to come up to those 8 and 7s on the B and E here. And we're just going to be playing around with that mostly here. Just do 4 strums, come off to opens. Come back to the 8 and 7s, give them a bend a couple times. Come back to 8 and 7 regular, come off to opens. Bend the 8 and 7s, back to the regular 8 and 7. Off to opens, then we do our 2G, open to 1, open B and E, and then just kind of finish with some bends on the 8 and 7s, mixing in some opens there.